laws and new messages and new completions. And we do, yes, believe as Muslims that Muhammad was the greatest messenger. But that does not deduct from any of the messengers in any way. We do also believe in Jesus as one of the greatest messengers. And that is one of the tenets of Islam Islam has this alone, other than Christianity, is that you cannot be a Muslim if you do not believe in Jesus. If a Muslim was to come and say they don't believe Jesus, they don't believe Jesus was born of a virgin, they don't believe Jesus was the Messiah, then the only thing I can say to them is that they're not a Muslim. You cannot be a Muslim without this. But we do believe that Muhammad was the greatest of God's prophets because he was the one who God chose to be the seal, to be the last and final messenger. And we believe that every other prophet's message was incomplete, that it was all leading up to the last and final message. So I hope that answers that the best possible way. Any other questions? Yes.
It's nice of vitamin K in the water that God is one. And how was the Trinity introduced?
You're asking me a question I can't answer. Honestly, I mean, you're asking me a question that I can't explain. I don't know how it was deduced. The first person to come up with it, I don't know. Paul was one of the ones who promulgated it the most. But how it came to be formulated as a doctrine, I can tell you about it. But how it came about to be, I don't know and I can't explain it. So I'm not going to try to.
Do you mind if I ask 2 questions?
Absolutely.
Great. One of the pillars or something, one of your tenets is the Holy Scriptures, right?
Yes.
The Quran is part of that, but the Bible is also part of that, yes?
Yes and no.
How no? As in what,
We believe in the Quran, and the Quran does speak about the previous scriptures. And the people who believe in those previous scriptures are referred to as the people of the scriptures. But we believe in those scriptures in their original form. But at the same time, we do not believe, and I do not believe through evidence, not just my belief, but through evidence, that there is no book that exists in its original form to this day, except for the Quran. So we do believe in the gospel given to Jesus, but we also believe that it does not exist in that form anymore. We believe in the Torah that was given to Moses, but we do not believe that they exist in that form anymore. We believe in the Psalms that were given to David, but we do not believe they exist in that form anymore. We also believe in the book that was given to Abraham called the Zabur, but we do not believe that exists anymore. So yes, we do believe in them, but in their original context. But we do still have the respect and dignity for people who follow the scriptures.
The Quran, was it written by Muhammad?
No.
How was it? How did it come to be?
The Quran came to be. See, the word Quran, and this is a misunderstanding of even Muslims, that when they think like I don't have one, I wish I had a Quran. When you have a Quran, yes, like that he has in his hands, that's not a Quran. Even if it was in all Arabic, it's still not the Quran. That's known as the Mushaf. It means a book. That means the book. The Quran is an oral recitation. It's something that is not tangible. It's the Word of God. And Muhammad, when he was revealed the Word of God, he would then teach that to his followers, who then wrote it down. And he then checked it with them, and he actually appointed one of his, what was once his son, adopted son, who lived with him in his home, named Zayd ibn Thabit, was given who memorized the Quran directly from the mouth of Prophet Muhammad. After his death, he was given the job to collect the Quran. And then all the companions collected the Quran and verified it, that this is what was revealed to us by the Prophet Muhammad. And they then certified that in one book, which they still have originals of today. There's 3 that exist in the world today. But that's not really the Quran. The Quran is what has existed in the hearts of human beings since it was revealed. And this is actually the miracle of the Quran, that you can't destroy it. This is why I used to live in Florida, and there's a pastor who has decided in a couple weeks he's going to have a Burn the Quran Day, which is very laughable. For the number one reason that burning the Quran is actually a permissible way to destroy it. So it's not really abusing the Quran. And number 2, it does nothing to the message of the Quran because it's written in the hearts of human beings. If you wiped off every Quran off the face of the planet today, there are so many people that have memorized it, they would start writing it again. Like for instance, and I'll let you get it a second. For instance, my teacher, who is teaching me the Quran, he can name to you who he learned it from, and he can name to you who that person learned it from, and he has a chain of transmission, and the last person in that chain is the Prophet Muhammad. He can name to you every person who taught the Quran to him from the Prophet Muhammad. So this is the Quran.
The Bible is also written down in that way, as in by the past on the because that was the nature of transmission of information at the time.
Yes.
How can you therefore say, like actually logically, that